the game was that we were all standing in a row, and we were gonna say it was a rant or rave. That's what it's called. And so that sounds great to me. What I'm thinking is all these games are fun because they're like what I did when I was little. I want to do this. This sounds great. Like if I could get a group of people together who would do this, I would be so down. So that's why I was thinking, okay, an improv class is gonna be cool. And then we're all standing in a group, and as I told you before, they had that crunchy rule. So if you say something that's too controversial, we're gonna say crunchy, and then let's not go that direction. Okay. And
keep it creamy with you.
Keep it creamy. And so that's what happens. We are all standing in the line, and then I think this is like the second or third go around, and they say, okay, rant or rave, and it's a rave, and then someone says, okay, what's the topic? And a guy goes, Trump. And then a girl goes, ooh, crunchy, standing right next to me. And then the teacher goes, oh, yeah, that's pretty crunchy, yeah. And then she said something, like she could have just left it at that. But then she says, it's been a sad week for America. And this was right after the Trump and Biden debate. And so this is like a few days after this, and I'm thinking, like, she probably means something completely different by that than what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And so I realized, I got to be a little careful.
I mean, it was sad for everyone.
Yeah, it was sad. She's making a very good statement, sort of.
Did you see Biden say skibbity?
No.
Biden said skibbity. Are we going right now in here?
We're going. That was our intro. It was a golden intro, if you ask me.
Biden said skibbity.
Yeah. Did he really? Oh, recently, or was that like
during the debate? He was like, "We defeated healthcare. I skibbity."
Oh, that's where it was.
Yeah,
I heard that. I didn't realize that. I didn't catch the skibbity. I just caught the whole 5-6 seconds he was trying to think about the fact that they beat healthcare.
Yeah, he was spaced out.
Yeah, bro was literally zooted right there.
That was a crazy one.
That was a crazy one.
That was around the time he froze up at that party.
Yeah.
That party where he's got his arms out like that.
Now, I'm just going to go right into it. Did you see the Biden body doubles like I did? Because I swear to God, there were a couple videos that I saw on my Instagram. Dude, this stuff blew me away because...
The skinwalkers.
I swear
They're among us.
I swear to God.
Wait.
Okay, I need to see something that looks crazy. I have to see it. So if I'm not going to believe you if it's not crazy.
If you're talking about skinwalkers, do you know the one where it's fucking Future and Meryl Streep are the same person?
Oh, here, let the camera see that too. Oh man, I haven't seen that for real.
It's Future and Future and Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep in multiple poses, but they have the same face.
Yeah, that could just be crazy genetics, though.
It could be. Let the people decide.
Like, we're all 50-second cousins. You got to consider that. Okay, we're all a little bit related.
Meryl Streep is Pluto.
I think there's some merit to that, but I'd have to take a closer look.
You're a Future fan? You like Future?
I like Future. Yeah, I do.
Future's good. I seen Future a couple of times recently. Did you hear his new album? He got that song. Fucking on your bitch.
No, I didn't hear that.
Insane.
That's the hook?
Yeah. I was like playing at a party. My buddy was like, he can't be getting away with this. So I was like,
he can. He's at that point. He's at that point where he could probably just say anything.
La di da di da.
Yeah, that was the tipping point.
Amazing.
Right there.
The pen.
Slava Minab.
From the heavens.
Yeah. I mean, where was I? Oh, so the class. So with that happens, and then like
official sponsor for Loko.
Yeah, if you guys love this podcast and you like what we do, make sure you go buy a 4 Loko from your local gas station. They're a proud sponsor of Ruse Radio. Really, all we're all about is just getting totally fucked up beyond comprehension. If you were to ask Ruse Radio what we represent, it's drinking 14% alcoholic content beer. That's what we like to do. We like
chugging 4 Loko.
Yeah, chugging 4 Loko.
No Loko action, no Robitussin.
Yeah. Nice. Everything you said, I second that. That is Ruse guaranteed. Go to 4loco.com/ What do you think we should call it? You got anything good?
Sponsor me. 4Loco sponsor me.
Yeah, this is actually us begging 4Loco.
I've been trying to get us 4Loco sponsorship for a minute.
Dude,
I know they fought with me. We fought with Loco. Hey, sponsor me. Sponsor me for Loko.
I had a guy who did the
Sponsor me for
same
Loko.
thing. He came to my podcast and he said Grey Goose, and he brought a Grey Goose with him, and he was like, I love Grey Goose. I drink Grey Goose every day. I'm actually trying to get a Grey Goose
Everywhere
sponsor.
I go, people see the Loko.
Bro, I think Four Loko should sponsor this guy. If you're hearing me right now, I think he actually could be a good... I could see you on a Four Loko commercial.
I do. There's this stupid bit I would do during a stand-up where I write a Four Loko commercial and then I have people read the commercial.
Yeah.
And like just like force people to read ridiculous shit.
Yeah. And they do well?
Yeah. It's pretty funny. I'll be like, "What are you doing in my room, step bro?" And just turn it into like incest porn or something crazy like that. But always with a guy. Just force a guy to be uncomfortable.
Yeah. For your Four Loko commercial.
Yeah. Buy Four Loko, use Four Loko. We use Four Loko every day.
And
not every day, but on some days.
Well, you can use Four Loko any time of the day, you could say, though.
It's not just any day, man. It's also Swamp Fest. Make sure it's up by Swamp Fest. Shout out to all Shrek-related organizations.
Yeah.
Shout
This
out
guy
Shrek.
was telling me right when he first met me up today, he said, hey, later on I'm going to a Shrek festival. I do Shrek things. And then he did probably what he's about to do right now. And so...
No, just show him I keep that thing on
Yeah.
me. You feel me?
Yeah, there it is.
You feel me?
He's got a Shrek mask that he carries around. He keeps that thing on him. And I gotta say, dude, that is one of those things where I really respect when people stand for something, bro. And it seems like you got a real thing that you stand for right here.
Shrek is wholesome, man. Shrek
Yeah.
is love. Shrek is life. Shout out Shrek Fest, Shrek Rave, everything Shrek, everything Ogre. The first two movies are my favorite. The Puss in Boots movie's decent. They're pretty good. But
Shrek 3? You didn't say of anything?
Shrek 3's alright. The one with Timberlake. Oh man, this is gonna ruin the tour.
Yeah.
It's gonna ruin the Swamp Tour.
Yeah. Shrek 4, right around the corner. Is there any other... There's a Shrek Christmas special. I think there's a Christmas special.
Yeah, and there's like a 4D adventure. There's a lot of Shrek lore, dude. They be having like the OG games at some of these things.
I think it's kind of sad that the Shrek lore just kind of ended at one point, and then it's just Puss in Boots for a while. Like, what happened to Shrek? Why are we just acting like Shrek died in 2012? Like, now we're getting a new Shrek movie. And
Because
I'm
we
scared
all died in 2012, and this has all just been paralysis of us getting our head hit by a rock. That's what's really happening right now.
You think so? You think... Okay,
Yeah.
so you think we actually... It did get hit by a rock, and we're in a separate dimension. That's the paralysis of that?
Yeah, we're in a different reality where Jeb Bush is president.
Yeah. That's the real reality.
Real Jeb.
You know what? Jeb was not weak.
Jeb is a mess. Jeb is a...
I have been actually practicing this. I think I've got it down pretty good.
Oh.
Thank you very much. Because this took me a long time. Really long.
My favorite song he says two. Have you seen when they got two? Like, why is he saying? You know, have you seen that? There's a couple of times now where like Trump's talking and he's like, they had one or two.
They had one or two. Like that?
Like he overpronunciates the T like crazy.
It's always an overpronunciation. And what I realize is like, you can do it. I'm talking in a normal voice now. But what I'm doing is I'm stretching everything out. I'm making it different. It's almost musical the way I'm doing it. You can hear it the way it picks up and slows down. And then you just apply the voice to that. And you move slow, and then you get big, and then you get bigger. And then you say something you shouldn't say, maybe. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
It would have been so nasty.
It would have been so nasty
gonna
if
say
I
something
called
so
that
mean.
woman a fat bitch. I can't say that. I would get canceled if I came out here.
Hey, I could actually do a really good Liam Payne impression.
All right, let me hear it. Bro, I swear to God, for a second, I thought you were him. I swear to God, watching that, for a second, I thought you were him. I went to a stand-up show just the other night. The night it happened, that was actually how I found out. Someone said it on stage as a setup for a joke. I was like, oh, wow. What a world. I'm glad that's how I found out, actually. Not just through my phone.
I've had a couple now where I find out because someone just makes the meme where it's XXX with like their face. And
I wouldn't believe it if I just saw a
picture.
meme. I'd be like, I have to Google it now and see if it's real. I thought Eminem died like 10
But
times.
that was fucked up. They showed like the dude's body on like TMZ and shit.
They did?
Yeah, they do shit like that, man. They're evil, man.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
When which one was it? Tracy Morgan. When the Tracy Morgan thing happened, when he got hit by that truck, the buddy who like died in it, his like body, they had like videos of it. Them websites are evil, bro. It's like Nightcrawler.
And you kind of like your morbid curiosity, even though you know that's a person, you still want to watch it. I still want to see it. For some reason, I want to see it. I can't explain it. It's like, that's why it's so evil. Because the fact that it exists makes me go, maybe I could just like take a peek at that.
You were big on like terrorist beheading videos and stuff
I was
as a kid?
back in the day, and I feel like people don't know. The kids don't know these days, because I have this genuine belief that the internet is sanitized in this way it wasn't before. LiveLeak's gone. You don't have, like, you have some...
It's just Twitter. Twitter is just like...
Yeah.
That's what the one redeeming quality is. That's just like the pitfall of like 2008 kind of shit like that.
But even
feels
Twitter...
like E-Bomb's world and shit like that is alive.
Say again?
E-Bomb's world and Funny Junk and the spirit of all these goof-ass things, they're all still hanging in some way.
In some way. But
Newgrounds,
this
shout out
is what
Newgrounds.
I mean, though, is
Newgrounds
like
cool.
those things are still there, because Newgrounds is the shit. That was also my shit. You could go on there and you could play, like, that was the gaming website if you were like a kid in 2009 and 10. Like, you go on that website. There's a couple other websites that were alright, but this is like an independent website. Anybody can make a Flash game and put it on there. I remember those Nico games were the shit. I always played those Nico. There was like a Nico simulation game. There was a couple Nico games. I can't remember all of them, but that game I loved playing. And then there was
Conquer. Were you big on Conquer?
No, I never. But that was
Conquer the Squirrel, N64.
That was N64. I was gonna say that was a Newgrounds.
No. But it's the same elk of just like looks like it's kids, but it's like, it's crazy. Things are bleeding and pooping and swearing.
Yeah, I think that was one of the first ones to
times.
really do it. I think that was the first one to.
It was funny because he was like a kid's character beforehand. The trajectory, it's kind of like JoJo Siwa. The lore goes pretty deep.
Really, I didn't know that used to be a kid's character.
Yeah. There's he was in like Diddy Kong Racing.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Live and Reloaded, the Redux for Xbox. That was the first reason I got an Xbox.
Really?
Remember when it had the big ass controllers? When Xbox had them controllers that looked like the size of a Buick?
Really?
You ain't seen that, the first Xbox controller? People couldn't even fit their arms around it. It looked crazy.
I don't remember how. Oh, yes! Now it's coming back to me, though, because that was like, I
the
had
fat
one
ass
in my
on it.
house. Like, one, because my dad actually had the PS2 box in his, like, in one of the dressers, or what do you call it? Not the dressers. It's the door that you open, the closet. Dude, I've been trying to remember that word for weeks. All right, but anyway.
Cleaning out my closet.
Yes.
John Travolta, get out of the closet.
Yes. You
gotta get out of the closet.
How
Oh
can
my
I forget
God.
that word? It's one of the best words. So anyway.
I had the best words.
I've got the best words in my head all the time. So, okay. In this closet, you had the PS2 box. And I imagine that's worth something now, because it's literally just like a prime condition PS2 box. And it makes me think, like, that's when that thing was like $400. You went to the store, you bought it brand new. It wasn't even easy to get. It's a PS2. Like, that's a whole different time. And the controller was it PS1 that the controller was that big? Is that what you said? It had to be the PS1.
No. It was Xbox One. The first Xbox had like a fucking fat ass on it.
Yes. Now that
shit was stacked.
the way that they had
That shit
the
was
white
thick.
and black buttons on there too, like that kind of fucked me up, because I think it wasn't. They didn't have bumpers on the top. They had the white and
they
black.
had the little.
That was weird.
Yeah,
And they didn't keep doing that.
You feel
but
like
that
you're
was
flicking
weird.
a bean when you're playing with that shit.
It was kind of like that.
Like, yeah, what's going on here?
You don't need those buttons there. Yeah. And what was weird about it is PS2 already wasn't doing that. So they were doing that at like, they didn't have to do that. I remember when there was, dude, I remember now when you would go on YouTube and you would see like videos where it's like PS17 controller configuration and it had like 500 buttons on it and it was like just this thing some guy drew. That was YouTube. And that gets back to my point, okay? Kids these days don't know what the internet was, because back in that time, you go on these websites and it's like a whole different experience. I really believe like half the shit now, there's probably so many like fake bot comments everywhere and everything. Fucking shit you see on Facebook's like so much fake shit now. You literally see an AI generated picture.
I don't go on Facebook because all it is just like AI pictures of like fucking a dog and a kid hanging out on a train track and just 60-year-olds sharing it, being like, "This is beautiful."
But I think
And
even
you're
those
like,
60-year-olds,
cute and everything.
some of them are real, but most of them aren't real. And yeah, it is cute. That's the question. It's like, I don't know how real it is, because I can imagine my mom seeing that and thinking that's cute. she would see it and be
They're
like, "Oh, that's
getting
adorable."
rid of a lot of the old good Facebook pages from like 10 years ago. They're banning shit. I've been shadow banned there so many different times.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I've been in Facebook jail. I deserve a Purple Heart, but
You know what's strange? I'd never been in Facebook jail, but I did lose my original Facebook just randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like never ever did I get banned once, but I just lost the whole thing out of nowhere, which makes no sense to me. I posted some shit that I thought would be controversial.
It's funny because they don't even get you for the crazy ones. They'll get you for something stupid, like because it flags it because some kind of algorithm thing. I had a dumb, wholesome meme one time where it was just like it was a skateboarding thing of like Trump, and it said "Make America Skate Again," like making him like Tony Hawk. It just looked funny. He was like fat, but he's like skateboarding. And it's like Superman. It is just goofy.
That got flagged.
It got flagged randomly. I was like, bro.
That doesn't
Like algorithms and things like that don't understand satire.
Because that's the problem, and that's like all of it. I think the way that they train these things, they train them to have these certain boundaries. Like, because I've thought about that. Like, they're probably trying to make it so the way that you train whatever is ethically correct. But if you do that with the bot, it's never gonna get that right because it doesn't have the judgment of a human. It only has like these. There's so much nuance to like ethical correctness. And
that's where the great replacement theories goes awry.
Yeah.
Because they're worried about immigrants. It's like, bro, you gotta worry about the robots.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The robots, cuh.
Literally, guys, you're looking at iRobot made by Elon Musk, like right now. You're looking at, and I don't know if that was really those robots talking. I think that it was somebody else talking through a microphone because they were talking like people. They were really talking. And maybe Elon Musk has just had these things in like a cryo chamber for the last 2 years, cooking it up, and he's busting it out now. Maybe that's what's happening. But I almost feel like it can't be that good. Because if it's that good, like, bro, you got to worry about the robots. All right? No more immigration. Let's worry about the robots. Because these are going to be the worst immigrants you can.
Trying to figure out.
Actually, let me caveat this because robots are going to listen to this. I think you guys are cool. It's all kind of humor. It's a comedy podcast. All right, continue.
No, I was thinking about that with how robots are gonna be, and when robots become too much and the divide happens, what the racial slur for robots gonna be.
Yeah.
That's
probably the type of stuff we say now would be very like. That's why I made that caveat because I'm thinking of a future where robots would hear this.
Roby.
Plastics
Roby.
is a good one.
Plastic.
Yeah, you fucking
paper
plastics.
plastic.
Yeah, we would call them the plastics, and they'd be like, "We're not plastic. We're made out of a bunch of other things."
Cyborgs. The cool thing about it is cyborgs, like people getting robot legs. That's sick.
That's cool.
We'll get people like Jax and shit. Like people who amputees could just get like a fucking robot arm. That's pretty sick.
That is so sick. Like when I see that, I'm like, that's the future. Like that's the good stuff. That but that's how the crazy part is when you really think about it. Like what they're saying. So that's good. That's like a good place to stop. Because now you have people like Elon Musk who will say, all right, so now what we need to do is put a chip in your brain. And what that's going to do is it's actually going to make you way better because if you're blind, you can see again. And if you can't hear, well, we can make you hear. And that's where you start. And that's where people go, you know what? That's not a bad idea. Like, we do need people.
This for me, yeah?
Sure. Go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's all for you.
Grazie.
So, yeah, when it comes to that, it's like if you're really going to put a freaking chip in somebody's head, you got to acknowledge that that's like a crazy step forward in a different direction. You got to say that. But the way that they talk about it is like, oh no, this is like a good thing for humanity. Like they're not, I feel like either he's just being completely ignorant of the possible bad ramifications or he purposely doesn't mention it because of course he wouldn't. This is ultimately a product in the end. Like, what is that? Because, dude, it's literally a chip. And I guarantee you that he even does say, like, there's a future where everybody's going to start to want to get these things. It's going to start with rich people, and then it's going to be more affordable. That's crazy. And I remember one thing he said, where he said, like...
Because rich people are going to fucking go to Mars first and die. We're going to realize it's fucking funny.
Yeah.
It's like those people that died in the ship in the little Titanic Part 2 that the other year, where they all died, and everyone as a society kind of just like, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's going to happen with Mars travel first, where it's going to be like some billionaire lady who's in her 70s is like, I want to live the rest of my years like on Mars. And she's going to like fry up there with her dog. We're gonna be like, that was kind of funny.
That'll be like
R.I.P. the dog,
that'll be the
though.
first 10 Odysseys to Mars.
R.I.P. the dog. The dog will be like the new Harambe or something.
Yeah. It'll be on flags.
Dogi died. The Shibu, the internet Shibu.
No.
Yeah, Doge died. Doge died not too long ago.
Really?
Yeah, R.I.P. the dog.
That should have been national news. I'm surprised I didn't hear about this.
Should be in the fucking Oscar in memoriam, bro.
Dude, that dog has done more things for young men than Jordan Peterson.
Hey, dog, we having motherfuckers die who ain't never died before. Real shit. Real shit.
This is the fucking future, dude. We got AI, we got robots, we got meme coin dogs dying. This is the future.
The meme coin shit is crazy.
Meme coin shit?
Someone
But
was
it's
telling
valid,
me.
though.
Someone was telling me about one a year ago because they started getting into the weird ones where it's like Sonic, this Harry Potter Obama thing where it's just a picture of Sonic the Hedgehog.
No. I didn't hear about
It's
that
a picture
one.
of Sonic the Hedgehog that says like Harry Potter Obama, and they made a meme coin out of it. And this guy was like, "Yo, get in on it now." I was like, "Hey, this motherfucker
Can
know what he's talking
anybody
about."
make one of those? Is
It
that
seems
how-
like that now. They're all pump and dumps, but if someone knows how to manage one quick enough, they could get out of it all right.
Oh, man.
It's all a scam, man. It's all fucking pyramid schemes. Like a lot of shit out here.
Hey, I can't knock a good meme coin. I mean, come on. That's a hustle right
Ain't
there.
nobody really making money. People are just hiding it better than the next person. I'm
Yeah.
realizing that all the time, especially with the music shit.
Tell me more about that because I feel that way, but I'd like to hear your take on it.
Come perform in my talent competition. Pay $30 to play 2 songs and perform at this thing and a panel of judges and maybe you get a slot opening for this dude. And
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The pay to play shit just like come off tacky to me. You know what I'm saying?
As soon as someone
Shout
did
out all
that to
the-
me once, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't need to perform through you. Like,
Yeah.
this is clearly not, like, most people are saying, I'll pay the artist. Most people are saying the opposite. They want you to come out, and they might even offer to pay you, or they want you to play for free. They're not saying, this guy told me, I remember, he said, I'm going to sell you so many tickets, and then you have to sell these tickets, and that's how you're going to make your money back.
Exactly. And you're like, if I'm doing the marketing and I'm doing the thing and I'm bringing the people
Yeah.
and I'm putting the sounds and I'm curating the whole thing, that's why it's like the DIY stuff is better. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and those
Hole in the
people
wall,
are
small
better.
theaters, you know what I'm saying?
The
To see it.
people surrounding that are better.
The bigger
Like,
the space, you don't see people's faces, you don't know how they react and that
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, like I feel like it's an energy thing. Like the whole vibe in that room is completely different based on the love for the art rather than somebody who's clearly trying to do something else. Like it's just so obvious. And then that fosters a better environment. Like that's what happens. The people who are going in are having a better time because they can feel that in the room. They know this is a more comfortable place. Because ultimately, like comedy and music, it's all a vulnerable thing. You kind of need a good room.
But reality speaks for itself. Everybody sees a motherfucker who ain't funny who could kill.
Yeah.
And sometimes motherfuckers can't really rap. But you see motherfuckers nowadays, man, come on, you know what it is. When you see them hit play and just stand up there and be perked out of their fucking head, like, you know what I'm saying? It's the last of a dying breed to see this shit being taken seriously. There are a lot of people going really hard, but you get what I'm saying.
No, that's... Well,
Like when you see people that don't take this shit seriously.
Has it always been that way?
I think it's always been that way.
Because that's what I wonder.
It's like high school when you see like the band that's always rehearsing versus like the guy who wears a guitar on his back so he could talk to girls type shit.
Yeah.
Show corny ass song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You playing the same 2 songs every day. Play a minor chord, motherfucker. Play a 7 or something. I don't know. You know what I mean?
There was this one
Shit.
kid in my high
Shit.
school. This one kid in my high school. I remember
Goofy goobers.
he could sing exactly like Sam Smith. Like he had a Sam Smith voice, but he only ever did that, and I could just tell like that's gonna be his thing forever. Like that's always gonna be his thing. And like,
Does he also suck dick and worship Satan?
You know what? Sam Smith took a turn since when I was in high school.
Hey, he's a good singer.
He completely shifted.
Just that whole Grammy thing, just
Yeah.
sucking it. He's going crazy, bro.
I'll tell you, the
Disclosure
grandmother
song?
born in 70s, or the grandmother that's 76 years old in me looked at that and thought that was the work of Satan. Okay.
It was out there.
That shit was wild.
I mean, like, I think Lil Nas X is pretty cool.
I gotta respect the art of it. I won't
was
say
going
that.
crazy.
I
He
won't
was
say
go- he was go-
anything bad about that.
He was going crazy. Like, I don't know, man. All this shit is funny as hell.
I gotta respect because the fact that you can do it and that's where we're at is really the artistic. That's the artistic thing about that for me.
It's
It's the
'cause
fact
it's
that
like-
somebody's going out there and they're saying something different and it's generating a reaction. That's
Yeah,
art.
it's like Madonna. Like, the shit's always been around, right? It's like You say, talk about Satan, you get a megaphone, talk about Jesus, they go,
Yeah.
cut the mic, cut them off.
Yeah.
Can't talk about Jesus no more.
Should
we say our names on this shit?
We can.
I don't feel like I said my name or nothing.
Oh, shoot. You know what? We never introduced you. So
That's sick, though.
Yeah. Well, we just rolled right into it. That was nice. So what I've been doing lately is I like to do that just because I always talk to people like we did forever before we even start. And so it's just a good way to start. It's just to be already having a conversation. But it kills me because I'm like the autistic guy in me is like I always start with a 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to Ruse Radio. Nice to see you guys. This is episode 96 of Ruse Radio. We are back at it again with our very special guest. Special guest, please introduce yourself.
What's up? My name Tim Maines, Tim Perez.
There it is.
I'm running for president.
And that is actually his name on Instagram. So I'm glad to hear you say that because I kind of wanted to ask you, like,
Bruce Maines, dap up.
Dap up.
No gang signs.
I'll tell you, if you need a VP, I'm totally down. I'll tell you because I've been told I have a presidential thing about me. Some people have told me this, and I really think I could actually contribute to your campaign. Whatever you say, I'll say.
You got to sneak in the opponent's camp with a mic, record some of them.
If that's what it takes, I'll do it. Dude.
You need to infiltrate them, psyop, pee in their coffee a little bit.
Dude, I've been training for this my whole life. Okay? Believe me.
Get their Twitter handle. Write something bad. Write something mean.
Okay. All right. The gears are turning. Now, you got to tell me, like, is it just are people running against? Like, is this, or should I start now? Like, is this a certain group of people I should go for? Because I can start today.
What you need to do is of somebody who's kind of saying happy birthday to someone else. You write fuck day birthday under that.
Okay.
In their camp with their Twitter handle, get them canceled, and then I win the presidency.
Should I put like hashtags on it or?
Hashtag Matthew Broderick killed 2 people in 1987.
Is this our platform? Is this what we're going for?
I am a Matthew Broderick truther.
Okay.
But amongst other things, I got a number of policies we're going to push in the general election. I
like this. So I think it's the perfect time for us to go for this because I think people are going to be more onto this than ever. I think we really got a chance in Florida. I think we should target Florida because I think those guys are going to love this. So, like, okay. Got Matthew Broderick. What kind of other things do we got going on?
We got a program called Pop That Cooter, Stop a Shooter.
Yeah?
Where we're going to legalize prostitution, make it safe for the girls. So say I got bodyguards that get tested and stuff like that. And then we're going to give state-sanctioned girlfriends to young men on watch lists.
Dude.
Boom.
As endorsed by Jordan Peterson.
So we're going to subsidize the OnlyFans girls' money and make that part of the economy. I have a dream.
Dude.
Si se puede.
I see a future where OnlyFans is a bright, beautiful place for young women in this country. I see a future where we have all of our young women on OnlyFans, popping their cooters for everybody. I think this is the
listening
platform.
to Sam Smith.
Yeah. And listen, I listen to Sam Smith all the time. I would listen to Sam Smith with my 2-year-old daughter. I'd put him on, and I'd watch him deep throat whatever. And I would be happy with that because I think we need to live in a country where these types of things are happening on a daily basis. And I think Tim agrees with that, and I think that's what we're running for in this country.
I don't rock with Satan, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, God. You know what? I'm glad you said that because I did actually want to circle back to that. I had a question to you. When you say that,
crazy.
Because I saw you post on Instagram. You said like that your music is inspired by your religious beliefs.
Oh, hell yeah.
So that's not satirical. You mean that?
No, yeah. People ask that sometimes because I'll wear stuff that I got a hat that says like God's Army and stuff like that. I'll grab pieces like that. I use a lot of religious iconography, but yeah, I found God a couple years ago. Praise be.
Do you consider that to be part of your experience with art and music and it's all the same thing?
Yeah, part of it. I mean, I feel like it's always like, like all people doing art stuff, it's always like finding purpose and making that your purpose, but
do you think it helped you? Like having that experience?
Doing that through the pandemic, they closed all the stages and everything. We had nowhere to perform. I was doing comedy shows every weekend for like 5-6 years and all stuff after high school and everything. So I just kept going and it was good and negative things, right? Because it was like gave everyone got time to like sit and focus about what's important. And then I was like going crazy with no stages, popped out, just started doing music outside, and one day it all just clicked.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy.
So you weren't really, were you doing music before that?
Yeah. Always in my bedroom and stuff.
But never really out?
A couple little things. We had like high school, couple things and stuff like that.
Okay. And then with comedy,
and
because I met you when you were doing stand-up. So how long have you done that for?
Yeah, I did that bit about Space Jam and the Holocaust. When was 2000? We used to go to the early show at Second Cities. At the end of Second Cities, like house show teams, they would do like an improv set after, where it was like you can come watch the lap set for free. So we would watch that all the time. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. They're doing this on the spot. Then I find out they have an improv comedy thing. I went to Schurz. Shout out the Bulldogs. My man Steve Nystrom, shout out Nostradamus. He had the improv comedy team there. We kept going. We had some ASM people and stuff, and I'm just stuck with it.
So it was kind of
fun. Always
being
good
in a
times.
group
Lots
and
of good
having
friends.
those people do that got you into it. Like it wasn't like you didn't get into it by yourself. You had these people around you the whole time that were kind of doing it too.
I jumped into it. Just had some good friends and stuff like that, and just stuck with it for a while.
Nice. That's
And
a cool way to start.
Interned at some theaters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I encourage
you told me
everyone
a little bit
to
about that before.
intern at the theaters. You know what I'm saying? Like demonstrate your worth, especially when you're a young man. When you're like 17, 18, you're like, these classes get expensive.
That is the best time to do it because you don't realize how much harder it would be in the future. Like when you're not 17 anymore. Like that's the time you can do an internship like that.
That's why sometimes I wear like Dickies and like working looking shit because I'm like, yo, I scrub fucking toilets to get on these stages, B. Now, like for real, like we out here, we getting ours type shit.
So you found comedy, you found music, but you found God. And so
Yes, sir.
with that, how does that happen?
Makes you rethink the world from the ground up. It's
Yeah.
pretty crazy, you know?
When you say God, do you mean what is God to you?
Like love. Like
Okay.
being able to talk to your parents. Like anybody. If any reason you got out of bed today, that's God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a theological sense, whatever that means to you, but I also believe like Jesus Christ is my savior.
So ultimately, you do subscribe to the idea of Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like I felt like when people talk about he speaks to you, like I had that like literally happen.
Tell me more.
One day when I came home from street performing, this would be April 13th of 2021, I came home and I was just like, man, the weight of everything just kind of weighed on my shoulders. And I kind of like collapsed and like, I was like, this is what it means. When people talk about like, I'm gonna let God inside and stuff like that, so it was just like everything just kind of made sense in that moment. And I was like, fuck,
wow,
this is what it is. You know what I mean?
You would say that's how you found God?
Like there's things progressing before that where it's like you hear little things here and there, like you feel like he's knocking on you, and you realize like these rules in the Bible and everything, how they do apply to your life, and just it's knocking at you, and then, you know, at least for me, one day it all just kind of made sense, and I just like submitted. I was like, this is what it is.
Oh gosh, that was the cat. Sorry people.
It's an act. Look what Jesus did.
So anyway, tell me more about finding God. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah. Just one day it all came home from making music, was getting money on the street. I always make goals for that. It's like I'm not gonna close my guitar case until I get like $100.
Okay.
And I always tell people, I tell anybody that does music, whether like rapping or playing or whatever, go outside. You know, go outside. You never know if you're gonna play to 20,000 people like an arena, but you can play to 20,000 people right now. You go on the street corner in downtown Chicago, you will see 20,000 people. You'll get some of them reacting, even though they're just going about their day. Just do your thing. You never know what that energy exchange will be like. Sometimes it's crazy. Sometimes you get have crazy things happen, but it's mostly generally positive.
Tell me when you say that, because I thought about that when I first moved here, but I thought there were like legal rules around that would make it harder to do. Like I saw you had to like pay these fees.
Just do it.
Really?
Only if they're really dicks about it, but come on, you see the cops don't really...
That's okay. I'm so glad I never paid, because like it seems like an easy thing, dude. I can perform if I just threw a speaker on and I had some type of fucking. I think I have a PA.
Just throw a thing around to hold your money, and then have a thing to like secure it in case like any fucking little idiot tries to run around and grab it or some shit like that. You got some kind of reassurance, because you never know. You're dealing with the general public. And you get some animals every now and then, but also you get like some like little confidants, like there are little crackheads that would come listen to music I was playing to, or homelessness. Nice guys. I'm not defining them by that, but just like they would come listen to whatever I was playing. I was like, I'll play for anybody. I was like, hey, the cool thing is like playing weird, like different stuff that certain people wouldn't normally listen to. Like I'll play fucking Radiohead fucking covers in front of some dude.
Yeah.
And shit like that. Like this guy had like face tattoos and he was like, oh man, it's beautiful. Like doing stuff like that where it's just like, I don't know, man. I had a lot of beautiful times out there playing music for the people of Chicago.
I think it's easy to
Hell
forget
yeah.
that that's what music is really about. I think music is really about those experiences.
Energy exchanges, man.
Like people forget because we have this digital world now where it's like I can hear music on my phone. I can hear a pre-recorded, mixed, and mastered version of a song. But like when you see music live, that's what music originally was that. It was somebody playing a song and you were seeing it and you're like, damn, that's what music's supposed to be. Deep down, that's kind of the experience. Is like, and you're just trying to digitalize that and capture that on a record. But when you really see a song live, that's a different experience. You're like, oh, I forever remember that time I saw this band play this song live. Hold on, I gotta get the cat out of here.
I don't know. It's different with like with our own like self curated hip hop and stuff like that. Because I don't want to be the guy yelling expletives while people are out with their families and shit like that. So you find a way to mold it around if you do rap in public and stuff like that. Because I don't want to be that guy. That shit's always like tacky. Some guys are just rapping about selling crack rocks while like kids are trying to get cotton candy. You see shit like that sometimes. You're like, yeah, don't do that. Don't be that guy. But I do a lot of different stuff. I'd bring out like a speaker and fucking. These one guys, the stamps guys, these skater kids, they had a video of me. I would do a thing where I'm playing like 10,000 miles, but I'm just yelling on top of it. Bah, 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 bah.
Yeah.
Like trolling with people to have them underestimate you is the funnest part ever.
That's a good way to catch them, even.
I would like tune my guitar for like 20 minutes. and then sometimes people, this guy doesn't know how to play, and then just like start going in and shit. It's the funnest shit.
They're just waiting for the bus or the train. They're just watching you for 10 minutes tune your guitar.
And sometimes you get gifted stuff. Like, it was the nicest thing. Like, people were like in that energy exchange, whether or not it's money, you get like, hey, yo, I'm fucking left your Donald's. You want a pizza? Hell yeah.
Yeah, right.
City looks out for you. It's the energy. So you get what you put in. You get back what you put in. I believe that entirely.
I think that that's the story of life and God and everything. I think it's like crazy. Like, ultimately, I just learned this lesson over and over again. It's like everything that I'm doing is in me, and if I want to make a change, I have to see the God in myself and take that risk to get that energy exchange.
And Michael Jackson said that in Man in the Mirror, and that's why they fucking killed him.
I think that message is a dangerous message to say such a thing.
Looking at the man in the mirror. I think he's innocent.
I think Michael Jackson. I never watched the documentary about him because I don't even like the idea of it. From my understanding, it's just so suspicious.
He had just like Prince. He fought for the rights of people like harder than anyone.
And the weirdest part is all
glows.
of it surrounding his death is when he really started saying different things like that.
I'll tell you two different Michael Jackson things real quick. One is like when he died, I went to L.A. and it was the weirdest. It was around the same time I went, and I was like 14 or something like that. It was like 2009, and it was crazy seeing like the culture that was like making fun. Remember they call him Wacko Jacko and all these terrible things.
I forgot about that.
There are people going hard on him for like 2 decades and stuff like that. For stuff that mostly wasn't true.
Well, holding his baby out the window, they got him on that.
That was pretty cuckoo.
Big. Yeah.
That was pretty out there.
Little Wacko Jacko.
A few of those things are pretty out there.
For Loko,
but
Wacko
still,
Jacko.
People were being pretty crude to a guy who was generally like positive for the earth. And then what's it called? After he passed, there was all this fake love. Everyone crying at his Walk of Fame star and shit.
Yeah.
And then there was this weird, interesting memory. It's one of my favorite memories of like music. We go to a Johnny Rockets, me, my brother, and my aunt, and I'll Be There comes on. And like it's playing and everyone's listening like, oh yeah, Michael Jackson just died, and we're just listening to it. And then like the cook comes out and like he's singing along to it, and then people at this table are singing along to it, and then people at the bar are just like singing along. And by the end, everyone's just got their arms around each other like singing I'll Be There. It was like I seen an Almost Famous where everyone sings Tiny Dancer. Yeah. It's like sometimes life is just like a movie like that. Everyone's just doing that. I was like, man, this is nuts. That's energy, man. And that shit is forever.
Yeah. Yes.
Every day, forever.
Yes. And isn't that the ultimate lesson of everything? Like, isn't that why people would want to have a legacy and people would want to live on in people's minds? Is because it's not really about you. It's about the energy that you can put in other people. Like, isn't that the essence of life? Is to spread that energy? Because if you just keep that energy to yourself, you just become this self-repeating sad version of whatever you used to be. And when you share that energy,
past lives, you believe in the past life thing?
I think that at the very least, there's definitely merit to the idea that like the memories of your relatives might somehow ingrain things within you. But I don't know about past lives.
See, at my parents' place, I fucking had a weird dream the other day, and I was like, I wonder if someone fucking died here, and I was trying to find it. You ever look that kind of up in certain buildings where you're just like, I felt a weird vibe in this place?
I have had that happen, yeah.
You ever find anything where it's like someone got murked?
No, have you?
Couple times or something like that, yeah. And you find that energy, and then you're like, oh yeah, some guy tried to break in here in 1915, and he took a musket to the fucking dome. Sometimes you find shit like that.
You're just looking around the room like, yeah, this
some
isn't...
Victorian era guy, some little British orphan kid. Father, it's not my son. Father, British orphan child. But yeah, the gospel stuff and my testimony and stuff like that. It's interesting because I was making an album before that, but I felt like the need to like not finalize it, and then it's like through in finding God that like kind of reshaped everything from the ground up. I'm gonna put that in the album kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like stylistically, there's like the rising action, and then finding out how to do things from the ground up after like hitting that weird low that you go before salvation. Did you grow up in religion and stuff?
No. My parents never really thought... I mean, they thought... My mom, I think, is more, like, spiritual in her thinking. I think my dad is Christian, but he never really made a thing of it, and he's not even really, like, a serious religious person. He just thinks, oh, there's got to be something more than... So, really, they're both just kind of, like, spiritual people.
That's good.
But they never really even talked about it. I think that that's actually good, because I think when you're younger, you hear a lot of religion things, and immediately your bullshit alarms go off, because you can see how the way that churches are ultimately institutions, and as a child, that's easy to see.
It's because you're like, it's boring.
Yeah, exactly. But I just mean, like, a kid is smarter than you think, and it's like they're just sitting there thinking this shit is so lame, this ain't even real shit, this is boring. Like, I could be outside having fun, and instead these people are trying to indoctrinate me. A kid can see that. And so they're just not having a good time most of the time. Some kids it catches, but most kids end up like, it's just like anything. They grow up, they grow out of whatever they were when they were little.
They listen to Sam Smith.
Yeah, they listen to Sam Smith.
But if we make a Jesus skin on Fortnite...
Maybe a Jesus skin. Can we get Jesus on the cross on Fortnite? Can we get that?
On Fortnite. It's a battle pass.
Yeah. At the very center of the circle is always Jesus on the cross.
Jesus pass.
Yeah, Jesus pass. But, dude, I agree with the sentiment, too, that Jesus and God is not popular to talk about. I think it's actually odd because, like, I remember a good example is like when Chris Pratt, he went on stage for some award ceremony, he talks about God. He just says... Like all these Christian values.
Like MTV and shit too, which is like the most.
And you can tell everybody's just like, huh? Everybody's watching him like, what is he talking about? What is this crazy guy? He is crazy to them, which is just, it blows my mind because it kind of highlights the whole separation. Like this is the difference between those people and you, is those people think a whole different way. Like most people... I don't know. Maybe it's... you know what? I don't even think it's that. I think it's the people themselves. Like, I think when I look at philosophy and I say that... I see that Nietzsche says, like, God is dead. And what he's really saying is God dies, and then afterwards people replace God with some other virtue. And
kind of communist gobbledygook bullshit. Not.
I really think that that's, like, the ultimate thing he's saying there. And so you carry that forward, and then you look at, like, the way that people think about God now, and people don't even really think... They think it's lame for you to think that there's a God. They think that's lame.
And it's the craziest thing, because at the end of the day, we're in the Western world. It was molded around the ideals around this, and it's like people think a lot of times of it being like entirely colonialistic, and a lot of times it was. But like, you know, then when people think that, it's like there's been churches in Ethiopia for God knows how long, some of the oldest ones in the world and stuff like that. And it's like, what what year is it? 2024 years since when, right? I don't know. There's a lot of things, but it's you know, it's more a thing about faith. My thing is just like agnosticism makes sense. I was agnostic most of my life, right?
Yeah.
But atheism is just like, there's nothing, and I know there's nothing. Yeah, you know, you don't know shit.
Yeah.
Nobody knows anything. That's kind of like what faith is, right? You like something clicks in you, and you're like, this is my faith. I have faith in this thing, in this being, in this power, in this feeling. I don't know.
I think faith is an ultimately admirable trait for anything. If someone has faith in something, I respect their faith more than... I actually admire the fact that... Because so many people don't believe in anything, so that faith alone is something gratuitous. I think it's good. I think
if you don't believe in anything, you're going to fall for...
everything.
Fucking meme coin pump dumps.
Yeah.
It's Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic.
You're going to look at that and be like, you know what? This is a good investment. You know what's sad? I know a couple guys like that. I really do. One guy in particular comes to mind in my brain, and I can't say his name because he might even see this. But he would do anything. I just see it in him. He's one of those guys.
For $20?
Yeah, if you really talk him into it, he's like, he'll do it. Because he wants to please you deep down. He's like, it's ultimately like there's something weird in him. You can see it. But like, it's ultimately insecurity. And ultimately you find God, you don't have insecurity. I really think it's the answer. Like, I really think it's kind of crazy. Like, I found God, I'll say it through like psychedelics. For me, it was psychedelics. And I hate to always say things like that because I don't want people to get the idea that that's the only
But you
way.
feel like you like communicated with him while you were in the middle of a trip?
Not like that. I don't think that I talk to God. I think that I could, like I said, see the God in myself.
So God talked to her.
Yeah, and I hawk to it right back.
Oh, whoa.
I'll say it, dude.
Spirit that thing.
You know what? I mean, I'm going deep for Jesus.
Terrible.
Okay?
Hey, yo.
Going deep for Jesus.
No Diddy, no Diablo.
If Jesus wants it, Jesus gets it.
Hey,
okay?
yo.
What Jesus wants, Jesus will receive. I think that's in the Bible.
Nuts.
So, yeah. I just really feel like it's one of those things where if you've never had an experience like that, because that's what it did for me. It's like, music is a spiritual experience for me.
Catharsis.
I think it's really me tapping into something that's cathartic because it's real and because it's a spiritual thing. It's like your body and your spirit need to go through those experiences to remind yourself what you are and what you can be. It's why I think all art is like that deep down. Ultimately, if you look at it in that type of way, where it's like your ultimate form of expression, then you make the most genuine art. And like, I've always kind of just somehow went into that philosophy. And so it's kind of inevitable that you find God through that, because I think that like those are the most meaningful experiences.
You're finding your
life.
purpose. Once you're attached to purpose, it all kind of will fall into place.
Yeah.
In any regard, even if it's like you're not religious, you'll just find the peace because you're like, I know what the fuck I'm gonna do tomorrow. Yes. I know what I like doing.
The certainty in that.
Yeah.
Like knowing what you are and knowing what you think you... See, that's the other thing about it, is I think once you kind of... That's what psychedelics help me to do, at least for me, is like realign... And when I say psychedelics, really I just mean mushrooms. I love mushrooms. But I mean realigning yourself with...
Do you do them with like the citrus and shit and let it like bubble in your stomach and all that?
You know what?
Crackhead shit that people do.
I respect that you asked me that because...
It works. I did a couple of times.
People they have different methods of it though. So people will like throw it in just orange juice and let it sit in there and stuff like that. What I recommend, because I like read this method, it was called lemon teching. And so it's you cut up some lemons. Best to get some fresh lemons. You don't really want lemon juice like that's prepackaged from Walmart. You don't want that. I've tried it. You want the real lemons. It's so much. You're going to like throw up with that Walmart lemon juice. You get the real lemons. You cut it up. You squeeze these lemons into a cup of grinded mushrooms. And then you let that sit for about 20, 25 minutes. You stir it every like 5 minutes.
Sprite? You use Sprite?
No, I just do the straight up lemon juice.
Oh, okay. I know motherfuckers be doing that, but they mix it with Sprite.
That actually doesn't sound bad. That doesn't sound bad. But I barely even drink pop, so it'd be best for me not to. I'd feel like I'd be like, oh, damn. The lemon juice is sweet as hell. You really don't need it. And so I do that. I stir it up. I drink. I just gulp it all down, even the solids. I'm a nasty motherfucker. Okay, they tell you that you cannot drink the solids. You can strain it and it'll be fine, because what's happening in those 25 minutes is the citric acid is breaking down the chemical in the mushrooms like your stomach is supposed to do. And so what that does is it makes the reaction different when it enters your body. That's my understanding. And it's supposed to make it stronger, and it's supposed to make it last a shorter amount of time, but it's more intense.
Enters your body. Yeah. That's crazy.
I use that terminology purposefully because I really mean like it's from the time that it enters your body.
A literal mushroom tip entering your body. Hey, yo.
And you know what? I think that there's probably something spiritual with mushrooms where like they're a living being in some sort of way, and it is a mushroom tip entering your body.
One time when I was on them, I saw a poster of Marilyn Monroe, and I felt like she was talking to me.
No shit.
Yeah, I was like, yo, I'm fucking bugging. She's like telling me who killed her and shit. I'm dead ass. There was a poster of it in my old place. She's just on the wall, and it's like talking to me, and I'm just like, they killed me. I'm like, fuck.
Wow, you really hurt her? Like,
I felt like I was looking at the image, and I felt like we were communicating telepathically. Like it was like a force talk kind of thing. Like Ray and Kylo Ren force talking in their brains.
Oh, those are see, what people don't understand.
AOL Messenger through the brain.
When you hear that story, you're thinking, if you've never done psychedelics before, you're thinking like, you can't really think like something that crazy. I guarantee you, if you've ever done a high dose of mushrooms, you could think anything. You could think anything, and it would sound like, wow, that actually, and I mean that in good ways and bad ways. I mean, like, there's times, what I like to think is it's an enlightening thing no matter what. I'm looking for the enlightenment. I've had times where I've tripped by myself and I'm like sobbing because I'm crying for the future of the world and just thinking, oh my God, it's all so bad. But I never forgot that, and I really think it is sad. And I remember that I tripped so hard that I cried for the future.
I shed a tear for the world.
I shed a tear, literally. I remember thinking, like, I've never thought that deeply about it. And I was just crying dude, and it's like one of those frames of mind that you can remember vividly. Like, I can remember Marilyn Monroe talking to me. I remember it. She was saying these words to my brain. But, like, you say that to someone.
The CIA shoved the pills up my ass.
Yeah. And they did. They did. I saw it. I experienced it. I felt them.
I did. I thought Santa Claus.
Oh, dude. So yeah.
No, yeah. I feel it. It's a trickery dickery dick. I'm thinking about crying for the world while on mushrooms. That's intense.
And it's something you like. You think that's like. In the moment, it felt so real. In the moment, it made perfect sense. Like, that's what's so enlightening to me about mushrooms is I'll see things in this completely different way that reminds me, oh, like, I have this very limited scope. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes I'll have experiences that just open me up. And I need those.
Hey, yo.
And then the mushroom just goes right in,
up
dude.
And just get up in my guts. When you let the mushrooms and the lemonins just get up in your guts, man, just stir around up in there, just kind of put two fingers in there.
Shake me up. Shake me up.
Shake me like a soda. Like a soda. Like a cream soda.
Got me bubbling like a little bit of Sprite.
Hey, come on now. Sprite with the lemon in it.
Yeah.
No bat.
Yep.
No, it's what's it
gurgling.
called? McDonald's Sprite do go crazy. You fuck with McDonald's Sprite?
I haven't fucked with McDonald's since like 2014.
No, but the Sprite though.
I think their pop is they probably add sugar to that
It's
shit,
something different with they Sprite versus everywhere else. You go everywhere else and you don't get that bite.
I agree with it.
You go there and you get that. It's like they got meth in that shit. You know what I'm talking about? It's got that bite to it.
Yeah, and what is their secret ingredient? What do you think? Meth? You think it's literally meth?
What they putting in this?
They're speedballing people with that
something.
stuff. Yeah, probably because I mean, like, what else would they be
Morgan
doing?
Spurlock, R.I.P.
Yeah.
The motherfucker supersized me and shit.
Yeah. Well,
who knew?
How long ago was that? Like a couple of years ago? It was recent?
No, it was recent, like a few months.
It just happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
The motherfuckers was just talking about that. Supersized me, R.I.P. I remember when that changed the game, motherfuckers was...
Yeah.
We gotta get rid of supersizing.
Yeah. Well, you know what's so funny is, like, that has not even changed one bit since then. Not even a tiny bit did we
The craziest when KFC did that little trough bucket. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
The KFC bucket is like a slosh thing. Fucking everyone's just like a farm animal.
I saw
crazy.
It was somewhere serving a candy burrito at a stadium, and it was literally every single candy snack wrapped inside of this burrito, covered in, you know, sprinkles and cottage cheese and chocolate sauce and everything. It's like you couldn't eat 3 bites of this.
Are you a cheese man? Cheese king?
I will tell you, I love my cheese.
Do you go to Wisconsin a lot for cheese?
I should more, shouldn't I? Isn't that the place to be?
They got a lot of cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese house, cheese wheels, cheese helmets. Fucking cheese, man.
Dude, I fuck with cheese hardcore. Like, I'm not even exaggerating a little bit.
Pepper Jack? You like Pepper Jack?
Yeah.
Pepper jack be smacking.
I like the nasty cheeses. Like, again, I'm a foul man, dude. I like the cheese that's like, whoa, should I even eat that cheese? That shit is... Like,
goat cheese, feta.
I want that shit. Feta is my shit. Oh, yeah.
Greek shit? You on that Greek style?
Dude, sure.
You like lambs?
I do like lamb.
Nice.
Euros are fucking amazing. Euros...
You say euro, you never said gyro?
Euro is it, right?
Yeah, it's euro. I mean, I don't... It's euro.
I think it's euro, because I worked at a Greek... what do you call it? Coney. That was in the mall.
Oh, nice,
and
nice,
so
nice.
I wanted to be the guy up front at the counter because that's what I'm built for. And they wanted me to be in the back making euros. And so that wasn't the best thing. But, you know, it was nice because, oh, my God, those euros were...
Shout out the Greeks. Shout out Greeks.
Yeah.
Shout out Greece.
Because they had the spinning thing that heats the euro. And, like, you didn't see that in Flint, Michigan too often. You don't see those things a lot around there. So you're like, damn, these guys got the real euro connection right here. Like, this is how it's supposed to be.
It's crazy how they were, like, the highest philosophers at some points and shit.
The Greeks?
They would just be naked and just be like, yo, we're all gods. And then they would just make statues where they're, like, peeing.
Aren't we all copying the Greeks in the end? Wasn't it really, like, the Persians and the Greeks and then the Egyptians? Like, that's really where it all starts.
I get my history from 300 and 300 rip-off movies.
That's not the Greeks. That's the Romans. Right?
They're all the same.
No, they're different, man.
Well, yeah.
They're different.
Prejudice? Is that Greekidus?
Yeah, you're actually being kind of ableist against the Greeks right
now.
I'm not going to lie. This is a safe space and you're getting crunchy.
Did you say that on here? Does that have been explained before? That you say like
the very beginning of the podcast?
That's on record now.
I just told the story.
It's getting crunchy. Let me keep it creamy with y'all. Getting chunky.
Yo, yeah, I will finish that story finally too. What happened was, I'm in the class. Those things happened. The second week or the third week, we're playing the ad game. And I actually read, like, I have that book around here. It's like a book I've seen around. It's the Improv book written by the people who opened Second City, Del Close. And,
the motherfuckers.
And what is the other girl's name? Something, I wish I remembered it both. Del Close and some other chick. The other chick wrote the book, though. And so they're trying to give, like, the rules of improv. So I read the ad game. I know how the ad game works. And so we're going to do the ad game. You have 10 minutes. You have to make a commercial with your group of people, and that's what you're going to do. And earlier in the class, she was doing like a bunch of physical games, right? So I'm sitting across from this person, they're sitting across from me, and they raise their arm, and I have to raise my arm. And my whole thing is like, dude, I get what all these things are supposed to be doing, but if I was just doing improv, we'd be doing great. Like, I don't need to do all these physical shit. One of them was like to do a dance, and then remember the dance, and remember each step of the dance. And like, I'm not trying to dance. I'll dance if my character's dancing, but we're just dancing, bro. So I feel like it's just not what I thought it was going to be. And then, so with all the other stuff I said at the beginning established, then we were doing this game with the ad game. And so we get their group together and we have to invent something that's going to make people's lives better. That's how she set up the game. And so we're all sitting around each other, and I think I said they could tie your shoes, because literally my shoes always come untied all the time. So I'm thinking if I had a robot that could tie my shoes, that'd be perfect. And so we make this whole thing about the robot tying your shoes, and then I was...
Hey, aren't you kind of treating the robots like slaves?
Hey, man.
Someone just says that.
No. But so the guy says, okay, well, how about, since this would be good for a guy who has no arms, he comes up and he says, hey, I have no arms. And then that's why the robot's perfect for him, because it's going to be able to tie his shoes. That's a great idea. And so we incorporate that in, of course. And so we do the sketch, and I'm the old man. I can't tie my shoes. And so I can't tie my shoes. This guy comes up. He's supposed to be Jim Carrey, because he had to have a professional or some celebrity endorsement. So he's Jim Carrey. And then he's like saying blah, 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 blah. And then the other guy comes up and he runs up like this, like he has no arms. I think it's the funniest part of the whole thing, if you ask me. He runs up like he has no arms. And then he looks over, he's like, oh, you have no arms. This would be great for you. Just like straight to the point. That's funny.
Yeah.
And so I remember at the very end, the teacher, the lady who established all these rules and did all this shit, she says, oh, that thing about no arms was a little bit crunchy, but, you know, you kind of get a pass because blah, blah, blah. And I'm just thinking, like, from a teaching philosophy, everything she's doing is bad. Like, you don't say those things to people who are trying to learn. You need to let them do whatever they think, unless it's really bad.
And you encourage people that think outside the box.
Yeah, and
So
you're fostering a negative environment.
Scene painting with stuff like that is always the easiest get in scenes, is just being like, I don't have legs. It's always funny.
He did it visually. He just came in.
Shit like that is always funny.
Yeah, and that was like a stroke of genius in my mind, and she just kind of shit on it. And so, like, from that moment forward, I was like, man, I got a bad feeling. And so I looked up the second city. I can't remember what I looked up, but I found out that there was a change in around 2020, 2021.
Yeah, they got accused of being racist, and they switched to
exactly.
people.
And it all made sense.
Damn, it's documented now. Oh.
Because it drove me nuts. I was like, I can't go back to this shit. Because I realized what it was. It's one of those things where...
There's a lot of bad stuff, and they switch ups, and... I mean, they had... Yeah, people were like, hey, you got to vary your shows up. They had Brown Co. going. I remember going to Brown Co. shows back in the day. They've always been pretty dope.
What's that?
Like, they're all black team that they've had for a long time. It's been going for, like, I don't know, a long-ass time. There's a lot of great performers there, and people I know that still mess around there. Fun times.
I wonder how true it is if they were doing anything racist, because I doubt it. It's around the time where everybody comes around and says things are racist, and really, that's not even the problem. The problem is they fire all these people that used to work there, and they hire all these new... That's literally what happens.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. I don't give a fuck whether or not... Like, let's not even talk about whether or not they were really racist. When you fire everybody and you hire new people, you get a different environment. And that's probably the whole thing I'm seeing. It's like, this isn't the second city it would have been 10 years ago if I went.
There's a little bit of both on different ends. I saw people that were just like real legitimately calling things out, and then certain people were like, oh, this thing's bad now, but it wasn't bad last week when they were using whatever connection. You see a lot of muddy stuff like this, man. Some of it, I don't know, go on the record, man, say these names. Say these names, say the list. Say the list.
Hey, man, that's great content if you do, don't you think?
Get the Mean Girls fucking burn book out here. What's her name? Rachel or something? Rachel Burn Book. Lindsay Lohan Burn Book.
Sometimes in life,
Wednesdays.
You need a list, okay? That's what I'll say. And you know what? This is a comedy podcast. We're all just joking around. You can say anything on here. That's what
and if names get crossed off on that list after something happened to happen to those people.
We were kidding. On the record, I told you we were kidding. So if names are crossed off a list, it's not a big deal. That's all I'm saying. I just feel like...
If somebody were to walk up to Hannah Gadsby...
Yeah.
Just push her down a flight of stairs. I had nothing to do with that.
Listen, man. I'm going to Anthony Fantano your Sam Hyde right now, and we can't be friends after this podcast.
Phantom text?
Do you remember that when Sam Hyde went on Anthony Fantano's podcast?
Yeah. And then they hit Fantano with the whole Fader article.
Yeah.
So he started getting a little...
That's crazy because...
Overcompensating about certain things.
Fantano he seemed to be down at the time. He seemed to really enjoy it.
He put on a lot of artists I like, though, so at the end of the day, at least he platformed a lot of, like, decent stuff.
Yeah.
He always recommended, like, good shoegaze albums and, like, alt hip-hop and shit like that.
So this is how I ultimately feel. It's like, if you're a critic... Well, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, like, him and Pitchfork, they do the thing where there's sensationalism, where sometimes it's like, I'm going to give this rating because I know me giving it this rating is going to get an article.
Exactly. If you're a critic, ultimately, also, you're looking at everything through this different type of lens. Most people don't even really listen to music like that. They just listen to a song, and they either like it or they don't. It's like Adam Sandler and why everybody hates Adam Sandler movies. But if you watch an Adam Sandler movie, it's just a good time. Most Adam Sandler movies are just a good time. It's literally a guy who just made a movie and he's just having a good time. That's what it always is. But people talk shit about almost all of them.
And to release a review just after you first consume something, I think that's the craziest thing. Is that everyone's like, Rotten Tomatoes came out today. It's like the best shit, no one's really going to know how they feel till 1 to 2 to 3, even 5 years sometimes. Yeah. So it's crazy that it's like, let's immediately post like, I thought this on the first viewing. Because if it's good enough, you're returning. You know what I'm saying? It's and like you're saying, Adam Sandler. First CD I ever bought with my own money. I had a gift card for Borders bookstore. Nice. We went to a Borders bookstore, and I was able to trick my dad into getting "They're All Gonna Laugh at You" by Adam Sandler. I covered the parental advisory sticker with my thumb so he wouldn't see it. I was way too young to be listening to it. You ever listen to that album?
That's like classic Adam Sandler, right?
It's the first album he did. It's got some sketches on it. Lunch Ladyland was on it. It's got sketches. It's got At a Medium Pace. Goated song. He's just talking about like sexual exploits and like a love song.
So he was always doing music.
Yeah. He was singing along. He had some good 90s albums. GOAT, man. That's the fucking GOAT. The shit, man.
He is the GOAT.
Dude,
I really think like Adam Sandler's a role model. I really think so.
Come on, man. I remember when nobody was fucking with Punch Drunk Love. Now people are like regarding it as a classic.
PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson, I think he's one of the best directors ever of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's one of those people where it's like they transcend the art form and become something else.
You like Magnolia?
Yes.
Magnolia
That's one of the movies
shit.
that like made me think this. Because
right.
it's like the montaging in that movie and the way that movie tells a story in such an unconventional way perfectly.
It's like Crash, kind of, where it's like the multi-perspective, but it's like, I like how that one's like a biblical, it's just so epic.
Yeah.
Fucking Magnolia. It's a good one. William H. Macy. I was a genius, you know. I was a fucking genius.
There's a quote in that movie. I've got so much to love, I just don't know where to put it.
Yeah. After he gets caught.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is in it. Tame the cunt.
That's another one of those movies where, like, if you didn't realize why Tom Cruise is like a famous, why he's actually a talented actor, that you could watch that movie and be like, holy shit, like that, you can see it in him.
I be quoting that shit regularly when he's like, "What are you doing?" "I'm silently judging you." Shit, hilarious. Bro, going crazy. TC.
Tame the cunt.
Tame the cunt. Yeah, Tom Cruise played like a OG Tate.
Literally, that's what it is. And he played it down to a T. Like, it's actually perfect. It's a genuine performance, and that's why Paul Thomas Anderson is so good. It's like I really like David Lynch for the same types of reasons.
Did you like the Twin Peaks third season?
I did.
I liked it. Hot take.
I liked it, but it is a hot take. Exactly. Like, you have to understand everything that David Lynch has ever made, and then watch that.
I'll argue to anybody better than season 2.
Now, better than season 2, yeah. Better than season 1, no.
No, season 1's the best.
Season 2 goes wrong.
Season 2's dope, but then episode like 7 or 8,
yeah,
you get like James with the married woman and just like goofy, like it just goes off the rails.
Have you
still great though, but it's like third season you get that episode where it's like 40 minutes of bomb footage. That was the greatest shit ever.
Have you seen David Lynch talk in interviews where he said like the problem with the show is that the producers made him kill the golden goose, which was Who Killed Laura Palmer. Like, that's where it all goes wrong.
Yeah. There's too much money involved.
Yeah. Which it's just so.
It was bad.
Oh, it's so sad. It's so, because that is what happened. That's why you got that.
I like Bob though. I like the whole Bob thing.
That was you can't have
Bob. I killed my baby. That's fucking dope. I killed my baby. Fucking yeah, man.
Season 3.
Shout out to GOAT David Lynch, bro.
Yeah.
Wild at Heart, Eraserhead, all that stuff. Him and Louis. He was funny as hell in Louis. Remember when he got the Late Show job? He's in that.
Yeah, I have seen that. I think David Lynch is
his weather updates during COVID.
No, I didn't see those. Was that filmed on his phone?
Yeah, he was like doing it like in a basement where he's just like doing weather updates in front of a mic. It was great.
That's so him. That's exactly something he would do. I think David Lynch is one of those people that's so creative that like it's his entire thing. He's just so creative.
There's this interview on YouTube of him in like France from like 2002 or something, and it's like he's making music with like some random French guys that he met. And he's like, "We're best of buds now," but he's with a construction crew, so he has dirt all over him, and there's just like a naked chick in there. It's like he's just living so many side missions. It's fucking great. He's amazing, man. Fucking, I don't know, other cuckoo directors, Klaus Kinski, all his motherfuckers.
If only Stanley Kubrick never died, because I think he could have made many more good
He made
movies.
Eyes Wide Shut, man. He showed you what the Diddy parties look like.
Isn't that crazy that that's the last movie and then he dies? I mean, another one of those things where it's like, it's just kind of weird.
He was working on the AI movie, and then Spielberg finished the AI movie.
So he never finished an AI movie.
He was like, I think he started it or like started writing it. He wrote it or some shit. The one with the teddy bear. Remember the movie AI?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like Kubrick was working on it.
I didn't know. I knew it was Steven Spielberg. I didn't know that was the beginning.
Were you big on Clockwork Orange? Did you read the book and shit?
I didn't read the book, no.
Just like made the old Droog, Anthony Burgess made like the Droog language. That was pretty crazy.
Wow.
Horror show and all the weird shit they're saying.
Really?
There's an extra, the thing about the extra chapter, right? There's an extra chapter in a Clockwork Orange book that wasn't in the movie because the American version didn't have the last chapter for some reason, and Kubrick adapted off of or something like that. He got a different version that didn't have the last chapter.
Okay.
So that's why there's an actual last chapter of the book where it's like he's older and shit.
Interesting.
It's a tweak. That's why Freddy Got Fingered isn't the greatest movie of all time. We went to go watch a thing of that not too long ago at the Music Box. Oscar bait people. Shout out them. They're cool. Dude, we're at that Gobblehead 3. I'll send you the Gobbleheads if you haven't seen them. Did I tell you about that? It's a Thanksgiving horror movie we got.
No.
My brother and them and Kino Crew Productions. Shout out Kino Crew Productions. They fucking, whatchamacallit. Yeah, Thanksgiving horror movie, Gobblehead. We got 2 of them. The third one's about to come out. Amazing movie. Turkey killing people. Turkey man killing people.
Okay.
Turkey man monster killing people.
I like this.
The third one's got a sorority in it.
All right.
That's all I can say right now. But people getting killed, people getting chopped up.
Are you currently casting, or is this already...
The third one, they already filmed it.
Okay.
I do the music for it. Sometimes I show up in it and I'm just like covered in blood and just yelling and shit. But yeah, we got two Gobbleheads out. Third Gobblehead, the third serving coming soon. And then they got a couple cool ones. I'll send you them.
Okay.
I do the kooky music. I do like the synth music and shit like that. Bing, bong, bing, bing. And it's like someone being strangled and shit. Sick. Amazing movies.
This is a legitimate production we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Gobblehead. It sounds like... It reminds me of Sharknado, that name. So is it kind of like...
Coming for the gold, Sharknado.
Yeah.
We want the gold, sucker!
Is
you ever
it
seen that Booker T video where he says about Hulk Hogan? Okay, that's what I was alluding to. Hulk Hogan! We coming for you! Fill in the blank.
That is one of the funniest things ever to me, dude. One of the funniest.
We want the
You
gold!
know, if you watch that clip, you can see the instant regret.
Grabs his fucking forehead quick as hell.
Oh, man.
But yeah, man, hey, Gobblehead. They made Cottonmouth. We have one with a sock puppet.
Yeah.
Number of great films, number of great Kino. They do that. I Help It Down Boys. Nathan in it, who was in Burnout Boutique with me. Squad, my brother and them. Hell yeah. Whole lot of gang shit.
Yeah.
Whole lot of gang shit, bro. See, making movies with your friends and stuff. And watch them on the screens. We do stuff at the patio sometimes. Shout out Big Picture Chicago. Some of those guys did like film stuff at I.O. and stuff. Cool people, local film people. We were doing stuff at Logan for a minute. The Cinema Obscura people. They're pretty cool. Good folks, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
nice.
they show music videos and shit like that too.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff.
And that's... So, like, with the movies, how'd you get involved with those exactly? Is this just the people that you knew?
Me and my brother grew up doing that stuff. He's more into the director role. He went to film school and all that. He went all the way in.
No way.
So he sticks with that and does that.
Wow.
Yeah, he does that, and he's more on hands with that. And I've always just been like the push me in front of a camera, make me say some goofy shit, and cover me in blood or something, you know.
So it sounds like you've always done artistic things then. You've always kind of been involved with that
artism. Yeah, dude. Shout out Marwin, the little after school arts program in Chicago. We did that for a while and learned how to like edit and stuff like that in Final Cut. That was pretty sick.
That is so valuable too. People have no idea.
Dude, it was sick.
Yeah. Learning how to edit's like it's a skill.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. There was like kids. We did that thing where it was like redoing, like, remember Be Kind Rewind?
Yeah.
Where there was like, they're doing like the shitty version of a movie, like a Z-rated version.
Yeah, I do remember that.
We made like a Z-rated version of Escape from New York. That was pretty sick.
That movie, dude, that throws me back. That's a great idea to do super low budget. You could still do
There's
that
a
today.
word for it around that time on YouTube. It's called like charade or something. It was like the trend of like grabbing things with cardboard and making it as shitty as looking as possible. It's funny how they did that Rush Hour 2 thing. Rush Hour 2 is the greatest movie ever made.
Yeah?
Yeah, I want to have like my kids named Lee and Carter.
Yeah.
Or Lee Carter. Just make it one guy. Lee Carter, Lee.
That you're gonna call him?
Dude, Rush Hour 2, dude. I'm like, that's fucking Kino.
I'm trying to think of like my top movies ever. I actually do have Magnolia in my top 5.
Nice.
I do, because that movie's so good to me. Another one.
It's different with like your favorites and then the ones you're gonna watch all the time. Because Magnolia's a great movie, but you don't always have like 2.5 hours like at hand.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like, you know what? This is like, whether or not I intended to, I've seen Blades of Glory probably like 300 times. Like shit like that. Like it's on HBO and I'm like, I can't change the channel, man. Gonna sit here and watch the whole thing.
That is one of those movies, huh?
That shit.
It's just good to have on.
I'm gonna wear your skin for my birthday. Shit funny as hell.
If I look at my letterbox, I literally got it there. I haven't I don't really write reviews, but I do like try to log when I see a movie, just so I can remember all the movies I saw even. Oh,
dude,
you see Barbie? You see Barbie?
Yeah, of course.
How did it make you feel, bro?
It was okay.
Oh, I hated that movie with a passion.
I did, like, everyone getting mad about it, like the rage bait about it, like, hey, it's a movie, it's against the boys. It's fucking Barbie, bro.
Dude, I'm just thinking with like my Stanley Kubrick brain. I'm walking in with like Stanley Kubrick filmmaking brain, like watching this, like, huh? Like what?
Well, it's because the internet, every man on the internet thought they were Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
And then they saw Ryan Gosling in this, and Ryan Gosling hits on a third gender person, and they're like, "Fuck, I'm gay now."
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you're gay the whole time. You're gay.
That's kind of the whole movie. It's kind of the whole movie is him figuring out he's gay, kind of, yeah. It's good. And good for him. He can't get Barbie. He's got to be gay. Good for him.
I like the I Am Ken stuff, and I like Ryan Gosling. Shout out Ryan Gosling.
Well, that part's fun. See, that part's fun. I think people just like the movie. My problem is
it was a fun movie.
Yeah.
I had a bet with a buddy. I said, "Hey, this movie's gonna make $1 billion." He said, $1 billion? No way. I was like, "Yeah, it's like it was the marketing went for like a year and a half, 2 years." So I was like, "They're gonna get that money."
I thought it was gonna be like an artsy Barbie film. I'm thinking like, oh, okay, an indie filmmaker is making a Barbie movie. This is gonna be like an interesting take on this thing. Like, it's going to be a nuanced stance on Barbie. This will be interesting.
They had a little bit of that with, like, the fucking beauty standard, whatever the fuck.
But the problem is it's all cloaked in, like, this ultimately same thing that's gone on in movies for the last 10 years with, like, the Ghostbuster girl movie. It's like, oh, men suck, men are stupid.
You ever seen that video?
The ultimate goal of the movie is to tell you men are actually shit and women are actually good. And that's usually what they're not saying much more than that. That's really what they're saying.
That video of Trump where he's like, they're doing Indiana Jones without Harrison Ford. You can't do that. And now they're making Ghostbusters with all women. What's going on? You ever seen that video? No. It's the funniest shit. Hold on. Can I pull that up?
Yeah. He really said that.
Dude, he said that verbatim. I shouldn't have quoted. Those are not my words. This is the words of a president. And you could like pull this up in the blip down there or something, right?
Yeah, point it at the camera just in case too, so they get to see it. Because I can always, if I can zoom in or I can pull it up in the blip, pop it in the blip.
Him talking about, and that was after the whole angry video game nerd thing where he's like, I'm not gonna see it, guys.
They're remaking Indiana Jones without Harrison Ford. You can't do that. And now they're making Ghostbusters with only women. What's going on?
How old is that?
That was like fucking, 2015 or 14, before you announced it, but that exists. That quote is, the fact that he holds his face after saying that is crazy.
I think he believes it.
It's like when he was on Twitter talking to Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
You gotta leave her, Robert. He's like getting involved with like paparazzi information around Twilight and when that was a thing. It's hilarious, man. Clearly he was Team Edward. Isn't Edward great? Isn't Edward great? Stupid Jacob.
If you were going to vote, you'd vote for Edward. He's the real leader. He's strong. He jumps from tree to tree. Doesn't have to transform into a wolf. Disgusting. Wolves piss on the ground.
Sad.
You would take a wolf for a walk. Edward walks himself.
That's a good Trump. I don't know.
Thanks, dude. Because I haven't taken it anywhere. I just do it to myself. And I used to do it. Like Stewie. I used to do it like this because I thought that's what you were supposed to do. And I thought you would just go like this. And then one day I realized you got to go in for it. You got to use your deeper voice.
He does that.
You know what? I have been neglecting that. You got to breathe in a little bit. Big breaths. Big breaths. And I got to do my hand gestures a little better. I've noticed he does this a lot of the time. Just in and out.
Like around, he's got a lamp in front of him at all times.
Yeah. Because Trump impressions, I feel like it's not... Good impressions in general. It's not about how much you sound like them. It's about the essence of them that you capture.
Or inflections or whatever.
You could have a shitty voice if you actually make it work.
Did you like Pablo Francisco when you were younger?
Not familiar.
little tortilla man. He used to do like fucking all these bits about with his voices about the movie theater guy.
I'm thinking Jeff Dunham. I remember those voices.
Jeff Dunham is a genius, man. He was able to get away with doing racist shit.
Yeah.
Just because he had puppets. That's crazy.
Ahmed.
Yeah, that was wild.
That entire character.
He was wild for that one.
I haven't went back and looked at him in a while. I bet I would be surprised because I just thought of that as like whatever.
Hey, he got that money. He got that money. Hey.
And he was a good ventriloquist. Genuinely, he was good at it.
Seinfeld season 4 ain't getting touched.
You don't think so?
Gang. Hell no.
Never.
Here's my impression. This is Jerry Seinfeld doing stand-up comedy for his 17-year-old girlfriend. Why do they call it homework? You're at home. You don't want to work. That was Jerry Seinfeld at 38 doing stand-up comedy for his 17-year-old girlfriend. Nah, I'm just talking shit. I love Seinfeld.
Well, don't forget, folks, you can look things up yourselves, all right? You Google Jerry Seinfeld, 17-year-old. We support Jerry Seinfeld. We'll have him on the podcast. But I will say that Google is a vehicle that everybody has.
You know, the Bee movie, great movie.
Great movie. Great movie. And you need Jerry Seinfeld for that. The Bee movie is one of those movies that lives on in infamy beyond its own initial purpose. Yeah. And you know what? That's one of those movies that I feel like we didn't even know how good it was when it came out. Because I remember seeing that movie as a kid, and I was just thinking, this is fun, this is good fun. And in the future, I realized, like, yo, this is like a culture icon right here. This movie, it really is.
You could argue that it was the first like major film representation for cuckolds.
Why so? What do you think?
Dude's bitch is getting baked by a bee.
Yeah, by a bee, bro. By a bee.
Imagine you walk in and she's fucking a bee.
Yeah. That shows your manhood, right? That tells you a lot about you.
Well,
You're going to find God.
What do you do?
What do you do?
You got to get him to stab. You got to get him to sting you. Oh. That's the crazy thing about bees is it's like a crime of passion.
Yeah.
Because like hornets can just keep going, they're assholes. But like bees get one sting and then they're dead. And it's like kamikaze.
Yeah.
Like they're taking themselves out because they're getting you. They're like, fuck you. We both dying. It's like when I play Smash Bros. And I'm Donkey Kong, I throw someone on my back and jump off.
So here's my question.
Yeah.
Do you think the bee knows what it's doing when it kills itself? Or do you think it's like so ingrained within the bee's instincts, it just thinks like it's like if somebody does something and your first instinct is to just punch them.
Probably depends like how old the bee is and like how many people it's seen do it. Like all living things kind of like can grasp that.
I guess so. I wonder how much of it is like nature, because I remember I was reading a book on like it was about the way that people became it's what do they call it? It was called On Human Nature, but I think it's sociobiology. It's like how
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Bye. No, okay.
No, dude, that's exactly what I mean. So sociobiology is this idea of like throughout evolution. That's where your ideas come from. I think that's essentially what it is. And then they were talking about bees and like saying how the trajectory of a bee you could figure out. You could say how a bee is going to come at you and sting you. You could literally mathematically put it on a piece of paper because they always do the same thing. And so it's like if that's what it is, then you would wonder if a human is like that. And a human ultimately is living out these just ways that are ingrained in your brain. Like if you were smart enough, if you were the super advanced creature, you'd look at the human like the human looks at the bee, and you would say, oh, I know exactly what you're gonna do, you stupid human. And that just blows my mind thinking about that, because it makes me wonder, like, does the bee know it's a kamikaze bomb? Does it know? Is it killing itself? Or is it just always existed for this hive? And in its mind, it's like, that's the world, is my hive, and I'm just got my queen bee.
They work with the medieval and like hierarchy mindset.
Yeah.
So it's like you see like there's bees, queens, and other ones that protect their hive and like
that's their whole life.
Get like sacrifice themselves. Like you're not gonna fuck with these bees.
Yeah. Have you ever seen those videos of the nests that like looks like a futuristic technology, like the way that the bees go whoosh, whoosh,
yeah, without making noises.
But it's like literally, it looks like a holographic like force field around it. The way the bees move, they move in this strange way, like to protect the hive.
So you're arguing that the numbers of bees going down has something to do with the bees knowing something that they don't want people to know.
Maybe.
Like maybe if you listen to the buzzing, they're like zzz, and saying something about like
Gotta listen closer.
Morse code.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it's like you don't hear the little pauses in the buzz.
Frazzle drip. That's crazy.
I think if we listen to the bees, we'd have a better we should put that on our platform.
I had a bee almost like right when you first came in here to put the doggy in here. A bee like pulled up and I was like, oh, what the fuck?
You gotta be cool with them.
No, I was chill, but they're attracted to dark colors, and I'm wearing a dark ting.
Yeah. I thought you were about to say you were dark.
Dark ting.
I'm black. They're attracted to dark colors, and as you can see, I thought you were about to lift up your hands.
I got the dolazol. I got the dolazol thing going on.
Is it really dark colors in general? Like if you're wearing a dark shirt?
Yeah. Like if you're wearing like dark colors, like
really
that. Yeah.
No shit.
Bees.
I just knew sugar. I knew like if I have a cup of like coffee on me, those bees are gonna swarm me.
Yeah, that too. They like sweet stuff. I remember they used to come after me when I already had the Fantas back in the day. Remember the Fantas? Remember the Fanta girls?
Yeah.
Fanta.
Yeah. That was
a different time. That was like after 9/11. We're coming back.
Yeah. This is
Swinging
the
back.
boomerang effect.
We got Mr. Deeds. We had the Fanta girls. It was a good time. Stuart Little 2. 2002. Good times.
Mr. Deeds, I just watched that movie for the second time.
Ever?
Again, second time. I saw it when I was a child.
Yeah.
But like classic Adam Sandler.
John Turturro's in it.
Oh my god, that movie's so good. What's so good about those movies too?
I got frostbite. That's it. That's crazy.
That's one of the parts of the movie I never forgot. But like what's so good about that movie, and again about Adam Sandler movies, he's always just got like a classic wholesome value at the heart of his movie. It's never anything bad. It's just like always just the sweethearted.
I'm just a working class goofball that messes around and then he falls down and then he goes up and gets a girl.
And that's sweet. You can't have it worse. What you gotta complain about?
That's the goat.
That's the goat right there.
Did you see Al Pacino talking about Jack and Jill and how he did it for the money? It's like, no shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dunkachino, that show's wild. He's out here like doing a Dunkin' Donuts commercial and it's like, yo, you're in the Godfather gang.
Yeah. Well, Jack and Jill, I think that whole movie was just a crazy movie.
Did you see the new thing of Al Pacino?
Uh-uh.
He's been wilding this past week. He's got a Shrek phone case.
Really? He's joining the gang.
He's been initiated. And then a couple other things. His baby, he's got a new baby and a baby mama.
I have heard that
he's like
just keeps having
80
kids.
fucking 5 and shit. Yeah. Dude, and his baby mama is no longer with him, is now dating Bill Maher. And fucking he's like, the baby doesn't live in the same apartment as me, but we text from time to time. I'm like, my man's
cucked out.
Cooking. He's cooked.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Look at him with the Shrek phone, bro.
Oh, man, let the people see.
Pacino would have on his phone cover. I was not expecting Shrek.
Bro.
Who would be expecting Shrek? Who? It's mine. Can you explain why you Shrek it? My youngest daughter said, "Can I have your phone, Dad? I just got it." So I gave her my phone. And she came back, and she had this on it. She said, "It's Shrek, Dad." I said, "Shrek? Wow. Okay, babe. I'll hold on to it."
Dude. Isn't that amazing? Doesn't that change your life?
That does change my life a little bit. It does a little bit.
It's like Abe Vigoda in the fucking Good Burger movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, dude, you're in The Godfather. Now you're in fucking Good Burger. Let's go. Did you watch the Nickelodeon thing about them all being creepy?
I didn't see the documentary, but I've heard a lot about it. And I wonder, because like it's just so weird because I don't know what to think. I know how sensational people are, and I know how those documentaries would work. And so when I see somebody like Drake Bell and Josh Peck come out and they're trying to say, we liked Dan Schneider, then I'm kind of confused because I'm thinking, if this guy's like the devil, and then you see these people who are on these childhood shows that aren't making any allegations like that, it just makes me wonder, like, how much of this is the framing of, like, this guy's a major creep, when really he might have just been a weirdo. Some people are just weird.
Nah.
Like, is there a story of him actually raping a kid?
Yeah.
That's what I wonder. Is that
well,
really...
the ones around him. There's, like, multiple ones around him, and then there's just all the stuff with him and the feet.
But did he ever actually have a kid who came out and said he brought me behind closed doors and did this thing?
It's the fact that half the people around him did, and then like the weird stuff around it. Like
that's what makes
I remember
me wonder,
like I did like plays and stuff as a kid, but I didn't go to like Nickelodeon auditions, but I talked to people that did and like seen some of the stuff, and it's a kid pool party with
exactly
him and others, and it's like you look at those pictures of him and some of them back then, you're just like, it's not right.
Maybe
you
it
can sniff it out, and then the foot thing, the logo being the foot, and then it being the shape of Epstein Island and all that.
That's wild.
Like, bruh, come on, man, couldn't have got more on the nose.
I at least think too that like, it's one of those things where they boogeyman it and they make this guy like the cultural emblem of it. Like Diddy now. Now we got Diddy and he's the cultural emblem of this ring of crazy Hollywood things. And everybody just thinks, oh, Diddy, that's crazy. Like everybody thinks, oh, Epstein, that's crazy. These people are like part of this chain of people. That's what's really
It's been going for forever.
Yeah.
Well, and like also like I went to a Nickelodeon pop-up bar. They didn't have anything Ren and Stimpy. And I'm like, man, I love Ren and Stimpy. But yeah, it's because the guy's a weird. The guy who made Ren and Stimpy's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
All these guys, all of them are weirdos.
Well, you know what? I
Damn.
think Louis C.K. made a great joke about it. That like he put it where like you want those creeps to be running things like Boy Scouts because they're the ones who are gonna care enough about kids. No one that's an adult.
Do you want to hang out with your kids?
Exactly. That's such a good point. Because like think about it. Do you ever really want kids around? If like, I don't have any kids, and every time kids are around, I'm like, oh damn, like oh damn, just a little. And I love kids, but I don't really want them there because I'm limited now.
I think it's like the outlets and the dangers that were around it, that have always been around it, are still there. But there's a golden goose and a silver lining to the fact that like a fucking goofy kid online right now gets more viewership than SNL. That's
absolutely
fucking hilarious to me.
I think it is a beautiful sign, you know?
Like a kid doing a fucking Skibbity Sigma whatever the fuck is getting more viewership than that show.
What do you think that says?
Cool. These shows are just out of date, man. You watch talk shows nowadays and it's like something about it's very just like fucking industrial era. You know what I'm saying? I see an Uncle Teddy Kaczynski in my head when I look at that shit.
Yeah. Do you think they didn't used to be that way?
No, it's always been that way, but it's just like you're still in the same formula show. They do the pre-rehearsed thing. It's state-sponsored.
You remember when...
Scary. I miss like Craig Ferguson. Remember Craig Ferguson?
Yeah.
He was a real talk show host. He would fucking go off the script and improv. He was funny. He had Jeff, the little robot guy. That was sick.
Craig Ferguson was actually like an entertainer. I think Conan still falls under that breed of like Conan. A genuine entertainer.
Cone Bone.
Yeah, because he just clearly he's doing it for the art, like the art of it, the sport of it. He wants to entertain people. Whereas a lot of these hosts, like, it's kind of like what I was saying before about venues and like you need to foster the right environment. I think their whole philosophy is just fucked up, and that like the way that they think about these shows is all wrong. And that's just, you go down that path for too long, and then you start being a terrible talk show. And that's what most of them are. And they don't even know what they are. It's like the news, how like you have all these alternative sources on the internet and you still have these like mainstream news sources that get nowhere near the numbers of a podcast.
Yeah.
And they think that they act like they're important. But most people get their news from fucking TikTok or podcasts. I guarantee you.
Yeah, and most of these fucking talk shows are watched by like old people going to sleep.
They're not even, they just have the TV on. It's like at my work when they put CNN on just to have something on the TV.
They got something
the gym.
on the gym. They got it on the gym and the screen in the background while the 60-year-old guys are naked in the sauna with their fucking just naked in black socks.
Hearing about how, Obama just whispered something weird to Biden.
Oh yeah. I was seeing that video. That was pretty funny. I mean, it looks like he was just like, I want her back in. He's like, it's done. It's done. That's what it looked like was happening.
But you know what's weird? I saw that reported by the New York Post. And I'm thinking, why is the New York Post reporting this weird story about Joe Biden and Obama conspiring about Kamala? It's just a weird thing for them to post.
Because they're center right, and they want to show that there's like destabling on the left when there's probably a little bit of both right now.
Okay.
Both of them are kind of publicly unraveling, and it's just kind of a shit show for everyone to see.
And you can't not acknowledge it. You can't just ignore it at this. You think they lean right? New York Post?
She was on Fox News the other day.
Yeah.
Kamala. And she
Kamala. I called her Kamala. I don't know.
Camel cigarette. She was on Fox News, and the guy was like, a lot of your critics would say like, you've been there. Like, what would change? And she's like, well, you see, I'm running against him. Like, she couldn't answer it.
Well, she does
filibustered.
So this is my opinion. Is I think she's just one of those people who's like a player. She's just been playing this game for so long, and now she's in this position where she didn't even expect to be, and so it's kind of like improv. Like, she's just not that good of an actor, like, for improv, and she's forced to do the improv. It's like she just can't give you. It's not even that. Like,
you ever seen the Armando Diaz experience? It's like at I.O. where they do a thing where it's an Armando type of show where it's like one person tells a story and everyone does improv around the stories they tell. No special guests do it, but it's called the Armando's the style. But a lot of times it was named after a guy who like famously like that was his name because he wasn't good at improvising, but was really good at telling stories. And it was like, yeah, it's like you throw one of those people in that environment,
and they just can't do it.
Even though her stories are shit too.
Because it's like, if I were told, okay, because the problem is she's also like, she's a representative of something else. And so she has certain things she can say. Like, the way that I look at, like, Donald Trump is whatever you think about him, he'll say whatever comes to his mind. That's what he's doing. Whereas she's kind of like working with this team and she has to say this certain thing. And so if you're that person, it's way harder for you to even answer questions.
Both of them
you can't say anything.
Both of them are bought and paid for. But yeah, the fact that he's unpredictable is more endearing to the people that enjoy him. It's all tiresome and cringe. And honestly, that's why like they gotta vote for me, man.
Hey. We got a whole
not this
refresher.
time, but like couple more election cycles I'm gonna run, but I'm gonna do something in Chicago first. On God, we're gonna change some things, man. I know that. I'll do something for the community. At the end of the day, they care about your backyard more than anything else. None of these fuckers care about Chicago. They don't care about Chicago. They don't care about doing nothing good for the peoples out here. So we gonna do something good for the peoples out here. We're gonna make Gobblehead 4. We're gonna make another Gone Fishing. We're gonna make some magnum opuses. Should we freestyle or some shit?
Dude, I think you just kind of, because I was about to say that was like a beautiful like wrap up what you just did somehow. That felt like the ending. So let me think. Do we want to rap on camera? Because I know it's gonna sound kind of like shit. What I could actually do is it'd probably be even better sounding if we cut the podcast, I throw on my phone, we just record the rapping on my phone, and we post that audio. That actually probably sound better, because I'm going to be recording the music through these mics, and that just won't sound that great. It'll sound good to us, but in this it won't sound as good. And I know if I do it with the phone it'll be better. And you know what? That's a great thing for the people to go find, because I can post it later. So we're talking about it here. If you go to my Instagram, you go to his Instagram, you'll find it. Tell the people where they can find you.
Tell the people this. Let me tell the people a couple things. Let me tell you a couple sweet nothings. My name is Perez. I'm your neighbor. I live down the way from here. We're all family. Chicago, Illinois. Gone Fishing. Great album. I put it out. It'll be on streaming at some point soon. Kino Crew Productions. We putting funky movies out. We putting funky vibrations out. Da da da. Shout out the people. Shout out the peoples I mentioned. All the shout out. We outside. We really outside. This is really 2024. This is really for Loko. Shout out for Loko. Shout out Monvi. We got Monvi here. Shout out Big Bully Blaze. Chicago, America. We're in God's America. Shout out Jesus Christ. Say your prayers. Call your grandmother. She misses you. Remember her recipes. Cook them recipes.
And with that being said, Ruse Radio, clocking out.
I got the world in my pocket, got a girl on my arm, got an eye in my socket, whirlwinds in my palms. I'm a free man, let me lead you along. I can show you something different, let me sing you a song. Ain't no algorithm touch me, ain't no palace this lovely. I found a way to find a way out.